Hello all, and welcome back to Small Grid Only. Today we are heading back to Earth here in the lifter ship. We just came from the Small Grid station, from dropping off our hub module. We will be building our cargo module today, but first I think it would be good to go explore a little bit around on the surface. I kind of want to take a break from building, and we really need to pick up more metal grids and more medical components. I've built so many survival kits that we're out. And I still need to build more survival kits, and I need to finish my cryos. So we need to find more medical components for sure. It wouldn't hurt to get some more tubes and some more glass, so we're going to look for that. And also something that I realized while in space here, after the last episode, right as I was logging out, an unknown signal spawned in. And I thought to myself, hey, we need to start going to those again once we get to space, because they're going to have unused parachutes. They're going to have canvases in their parachute hatches, and that's going to be like the only way I can get them, right? Because I can't make them, and I've not found a single canvas in anybody's inventory this entire time. So apparently nobody else makes them either. But I like having canvases. I like having parachute options in case something crazy happens, you know? So let's get down to the planet and let's look around. All right. Back at the surface we are. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly up to the station up there. I'm going to see if they have anything interesting for us. And then I might do a bunch of missions, try and make a little bit more currency. If they have good tools, I did lose one of my tier 3 welders, and if I lose another, then I'm just without a tier 3 welder, and that's unacceptable. So I might try to make enough currency to buy another welder, and if they have a better grinder, I have a tier 1 grinder, which is terrible, so I might go for that as well. Actually, I'll definitely go for that if they have it. So I just noticed actually this I actually don't need these survival kits to be on these ships. Right now the survival kit's on, it should be off. When the ships are parked at the rover, because the rover already has 2 survival kits on, those ships should not have their survival kits on. So they should have them on, and they should have the timer on while I'm flying them around though. So we will fix that right away. And we will get rid of this unknown signal because we're not going there and it clutters my screen. There. Fixed. Is there a reason I'm falling? Okay. I actually have no reason why my ship just fell out of the sky. My inertial dampeners were on, my thrusters were on, my batteries were on, everything was working. I just randomly fell out of the sky. Alright, I need to go check that recording and see what I did wrong. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back from checking that, and yeah, there was really no reason for my ship to fall out of the sky that I could see in the replay. That's really unfortunate because I just lost 2 batteries and survival kit stuff. A bunch of stuff that I can't make. And I'm not sure why. There was a bit of a loading screen that occurred, like a streaming bar on the bottom of the screen. And then as soon as that disappeared, I started falling out of the sky. And I have no idea why. It's probably like my ship unloaded. And yeah, I don't know. I fell out of the sky, and that's really unfortunate. I lost a ton of stuff because of that, and I'm not gonna be able to get it back. I'm gonna take my other ship and fly it over here, and heaven forbid the same thing happens again. But I need to recover as much of this as I can because there's still materials I can't make in this. Like these have metal grids and large tubes, which are vital to me. So I really need that to not happen again. This has happened to me before on other servers. It hasn't happened to me yet on this server, but now I'm really worried. And this is another reason I would love to have parachutes, because at least I could have opened the parachutes and survived a little bit. I tried to flip over onto my back at the last second to preserve the batteries, but unfortunately I didn't flip fast enough, and I don't even know if that would have helped. It probably would have helped. I probably would have lost a lot of this stuff, but I might have saved the survival kit and the batteries. Really unfortunate. Alright, let's fly back to the ship. Ay, ay, ay. What can you do? You imagine if that would have happened while I was trying to fly up one of my modules? Holy cow. That would have been miserable. For sure. It makes me think that this grid unloaded, and then for some reason that grid was set to like whatever this grid settings were, which are inertial dampeners off, but the inertial dampeners on that one didn't update to say that they were off. So we have one more ship, one more scout ship. Gosh, if I lose all this stuff too, that's not going to be cool. I'm going to add a precautionary measure in case that does happen. We're going to add a way for us to land and not detonate our entire ship. We're just going to put a big poker out the front, and we're going to put some wheels or something on it. Can I make a wheel without using stuff that I'll lose? That I can't make? No. They all take tubes. We'll just make a really big sword on the front of our ship. If I weld that all up and I land on it max speed, do you think everything else will blow up? I really don't know. I'm kind of hoping it won't. If nothing else, I'll be able to save some of my parts, my batteries and whatnot. Gosh. That is sad. My first grid lost to a game bug. Well, my second, counting the landing gear from episode 1. Alright, we'll turn everything on. Turn our inertial dampeners on. Turn all our thrusters on. Our gyroscope. Set our batteries to not recharge. Unlock. Look, we're flying just fine. Now let's see if this lasts. And hopefully our other stuff over there hasn't gotten grabbed by cleanup yet. I actually can't see anything now. Oh, it's happening again. It's happening again. I'm gonna crash. It turned off again. All of my stuff turned off again. In the same spot. That time, toggling the inertial dampeners fixed it, but it happened twice in a row now. That is so unsettling. And unfortunately, cleanup got all my junk. So, well, what can you do? I should have just stuck to building modules. Maybe I would have been better off today. Or maybe my module would have crashed and burned. Maybe it's a good thing I'm doing this. Man, that's the thing about space engineers. You never know when the game's actually going to work. Or just decide to drop you into the middle of a planet or do something equally obscene on the planet. It's also why I generally play space engineers in space exclusively, because those types of things don't happen as often in space. Like if my ship just stops working in space, I just glide in a straight direction. I never aim directly at anything in space, so it's not a big deal. But on Earth, when your ship turns off, you just fall out of the sky. It's pretty unfortunate. Okay, we're streaming again. Is it going to turn my ship off again? I heard. So right after that streaming, once again, I heard my ship click on and off. I toggled my inertial dampeners immediately, but that was really suspicious. Yeah, we're just gonna crash land in here, I guess. Every time I get a streaming, every time some new grid loads in, it's like, you know what? I think your grid needs to do whatever that grid does. So if it has no inertial dampeners, your grid needs that too. Oh, and I'm not going to tell you that it updated your ship. We're just going to turn them off. Gosh dang it. Hopefully there's something good here. Data pads. I don't want to deal with data pads right now. I should. I just really don't want to. Okay, so if we're falling out of the sky every time we load in a new grid, doing the search contracts is going to be a death wish. Also, doing the search contracts in a fog storm is just inconvenient. I honestly came up here to do some missions, but now we have a storm. So maybe we'll just go to the bases and raid them. So these are all the bases I know of that are nearby. Quite a few around here. I'm pretty sure I already raided 6 for everything that it has. I like base 5 I haven't been to recently. Let's go there. Maybe it'll be more interesting. Base 5 is where the guy visited from space, built a giant rover, and then drove it off a cliff. So this person I saw was active last time I was on, so maybe they're around. Maybe they've done something interesting over there. I wonder if, what is the button to turn your ship off and back on? I feel like I removed that from my keyboard, so I never would do it. I feel like toggling that would potentially solve my problem. It's not P for park. It's not, yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Ah, it's Y. I'm pretty sure I removed that. Yeah, Y does nothing for me. It's too close to my push to talk. I use T for push to talk, and if I hit Y while I'm push to talking, it's really silly. Person still has a beacon over there. I think actually this is a base that I came across on my way back from that other one. Base 4 is the one where the ship, the big ship was. I probably shouldn't be flying around doing scouting missions with my good tools in my inventory. Should probably have my junkiest tools in my inventory. We're getting close to this base 5 spawning in, and I'm getting worried that my ship's going to turn off. So I'm going to get a little bit higher. As soon as I get that loading screen, I'm worried. Okay, I'm not getting a loading screen. Maybe this space doesn't exist anymore? Nope, there it is. Okay, streaming. And nothing happened. Excellent. This has not changed since last time I was here. And we already took the metal grids from this base, so they have large tubes. I will mark that they still have large tubes. If I need them, I can come back. And that is pretty much how the next couple hours of gameplay went. I traveled to all the different bases I had been to before. I didn't find any new ones, but the old ones actually had quite a bit of resources I could take. I did not grind down any survival kits that were at bases that were still functional and still had power. However, there were a couple places that had full-size medical bays being built, and those had tons of metal grids in them, and they did have usually about 3 medical components in them. So I ended up being able to loot a whole lot of metal grids and a small number of medical components. I also got a good deal of glass back from the solar base, and that's pretty much everything. Once I was done looting things, I headed back to the lake bed and finally got to work on building the next module. And that is going to be a cargo module. So, we are going to build it off the tip of our transport ship as usual. And we are going to try to include at least 3 large cargo containers. We're going to make room for it to expand from there. It is going to have an interior, like always, It's not going to be very interesting, but it's going to be a small little chunk. I think I'll put some survival kits in it because survival kits are our production facilities, and that makes sense to put on the cargo module. So it's going to be cargo / production. It's going to be a fairly quick and small module to make, and let's get started. I'm going to start by coming out from here, and then we're not going to start with the entranceway on this one. I think we'll start with a storage container on this one, and we'll just have to grind it off. That will be how we deal with this. Okay, this one I need to be downwards. This one is going to be in, and this one will also be, dang it, in like that. Alright, so we have large areas like that. We need this on there, and then we're going to put survival kits on this. Survival kits will be facing the interior of the ship. One's going to be upside down, the other's going to be upside right, I guess, so that we can access either of them. And now this is going to be inside. The interior of the module is going to like walk in here. You'll see the survival kits on either side, and then the exit will be where I am right now. We'll leave an opening for accessing storage conveniently. No! I hate when I do that. Well, alright, let's start over. I always tell myself it's going to be quick and easy this time, but I always manage to make it difficult. Alrighty, you know the plans, and from here on out all the building went really smoothly, so we're just going to speed run through this. I'm going to be honest, I'm tired of editing shipbuilding video. It's very slow and tedious, and in this case you're really not going to see anything new that you didn't see in the last couple videos, so I think it makes sense to skip. While it's playing, you should head down to the comments and let me know what you think would be interesting for us to do next. I kind of have some plans, and I'm really excited to get to space and get to different planets and do different things, but nothing I have planned is written in stone, so if you've got some good ideas, I would love to hear them. Another thing I've been thinking of a lot recently is doing some sort of community event, and I'm not the king of ideas, so if you've got some cool ideas for something like that, maybe a video, maybe I give feedback on some of your builds or answer some questions or do something like that. I'm coming up on 500 subs, which is a good chunk, and I'd kind of like to do something for that. So drop an idea in the comments if you got a good one, or better yet, head over to the Discord and drop all of your ideas there. I'm online fairly frequently, and I'm more than happy to interact with people real time whenever I'm around. Now let's get back to this current video because we are just about done building. Oh, the sun is rising. Finally. It only took one night to build this whole thing, and I only had to go mining once. Maybe twice. Once. I only had to go mining once. What am I talking about? Alright. Let's take this up and attach it. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough for now. Yeah. We probably have enough hydrogen to do it. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I should fill the cargo as much as possible and then bring it up. Because eventually I'm going to want a bunch of stuff up there. But I'm still going to be... Do I transition now? Do I take this up and then transition to building in space finally? And build the final module up in space instead of building it here and bringing it up? That's the big question, I think. I think I'm going to build it down here and bring it up just to say I did it. Just to do all of the initial modules on Earth and carry them all up. I think it would probably be just fine to do it up there, but we're gonna We're going to do it all on Earth. I think that's going to be a good decision. Let's bring this up and attach it and see how it looks. See what's going on up there, and hopefully this is all good and airtight, and eventually I'll be able to finish that survival kit. That'll be nice. Alright, let's do this. We still have plenty of fuel. Gosh, of course I'm flying to space while it's daytime here. It's a little bit unfortunate. Unlock that. Turn our thrusters on. Turn our dampeners on. Then we will lock, unlock, unlock, and lift. With that, we are off to space again, but all my voiceover work is done already this episode, so enjoy a little moment of silence while we head up there. Alright, we see asteroids in the background. Let's head over to our destination. And there we are. We have our next module attached. 3 modules down. 1 more to go to be able to fly. The next module will be the flight module for sure. And we might have to scrap our ship to make it, but we will keep a ship of some sort. We might build a new one, make a nicer looking one to use with the station. Let's go on inside and have a look around. We'll use the airlock. Looking good on the inside. I did forget to add lights to this one, but you can see we have no air in here as usual. Probably still bugged out. Yeah, we have no air in anything. I'm a little worried that that leaks. If it does, that's pretty unfortunate. Alright. I really wish we had air. Looks okay. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think it looks good. From the top side it looks good at least. I'm sure the bottom side is not spectacular. Alright, enough looking around. Let's get on with building the next module. Gotta head back down to Earth for it. This one's going to be a little more complex than the last one we built, as it is going to be a fully functional ship as well. And that is where we are going to leave it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.